But let's start with the game you were at.
Yeah.
Marseille against Liverpool at the Velodrome. Mohamed Salah's return.
Yeah.
On the surface, Liverpool preying on Marseille mistakes. Marseille disappointing.
Yeah, far too comfortable for Liverpool, to be fair. I'm not sure exactly what Roberto De Zerbi tried to do tactically in this game. I don't think the back five was a good idea at all. I'm not sure his midfield worked either. And certainly every time Gravenberch was on the ball, or McAllister, or Wirtz, or Szoboszlai, it was just far too easy for them. There was not enough pressure, not enough intensity from Marseille, despite the atmosphere being incredible at the Velodrome, as we expected, because it was a big game. Had Marseille won on Wednesday night, they would have qualified already, which is not the case now. They're going to go to Bruges next week under massive pressure because
you get past Mr. Champions League, Hans van Aken. He's going to give De Zerbi nightmares.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, really bad night for Marseille. And really, I think more importantly, not really understood what they're trying to do. And after the game, De Zerbi said, well, it's a shame our players could not read the game, because if they had read the game better, we would have been in a better position. I was like, hang on, you saw the game too. You could have said from the touchline, hey, let's go to a back four. Let's make sure we've got an extra man in midfield, things like that. But he never corrected anything. He even played with the back five until the end, which was crazy.
It looked to me like what he was trying to do, and maybe I'm completely, I'm watching on television on one screen. Yeah. You're there in person. But it looked to me like he was trying to out-football Liverpool. Because even with the back five, obviously, I guess his wing backs were supposed to push up. But look, that's admirable if you want to do that. But I don't think, Liverpool will punish you. They're organized. I don't know if he looked and said like, oh, look, Liverpool's recent run of form, not great, notwithstanding what Burnley's, the Burnley game at the weekend. And he really paid it. Is that reading correct? Because you would know better than me.
So. Yeah, no, I don't think they tried to outplay them, because they didn't put any rhythm into the game either. They didn't keep the ball well. They didn't create much apart from Greenwood on his own, whether it was a shot or then the cross he had for Traore in the second half and the ball he gave Aubameyang.
There was a Guiri chance too, no?
There was a Guiri on the second phase of set piece, but that was just a shot that I think Alisson made a good save, but not more than that. But in the game itself, it was very difficult for them to do anything. And I'm just not sure really, with all the options, and there are different options. You might not like Vermeeren, you might not like Aubameyang too much, or O'Reilly, those kind of guys. But I think there was a lot of other things he could have done. And maybe more importantly, the fact that he recognized himself that they didn't read the game properly, that they didn't change anything at halftime or even halfway through the first half, when clearly it was obvious to see that they were going to struggle.
All right, let's talk Liverpool. On the surface, that sneaky free kick. And I feel like everybody puts a player down behind it.
I thought everybody did, yeah. Until yesterday, I don't know. Because I think he clearly, I would need to look.
I should describe it for people who are just listening on the podcast and haven't seen the highlights, although you really should. Dominic Szoboszlai takes a free kick. They do not put the so-called draft excluder, the guy lying down behind the goal wall. The wall jumps. Szoboszlai acts as if he's going to go and put it in the left corner. Instead, he hits it low along the ground and
on
just
purpose.
Jump over the ball on purpose. Oh
yeah. We need to look again at Marseille's last few games to see if they never do it, for example. So it's something that Liverpool's analysis team picked up and told Szoboszlai or whoever else.
Or maybe Szoboszlai picked it up in the moment.
Yeah, because I think it's more likely that that's the case than not. But if Marseille hadn't done it for a while, maybe they said to Szoboszlai and the others, listen, if there's a free kick on the edge of the box, take it. By the way, stupid foul from Baleri, who went barging in Salah. That was
not his first stupid foul either. So you could look at this and say, well, in terms of incidents, but Liverpool were really dominant beyond the incidents that led to the goals. Got to ask you quickly about Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
He's back straight into the lineup, plays 90 minutes against Nigeria on Sunday, straight back in what looked kind of like a 4-box-2 formation. Makes sense? Leaving aside his performance, makes sense?
Yeah, because I think he had Frimpong, Wirtz and Ekitike are still the main guys there, and he felt at times on the periphery, Salah, in that position too, and had one chance. That's all he had, and
which he takes with his wrong foot, which was
with his dominant foot, the left,
really dominant foot. But come on, bro, I've seen you score with your right from there. That's why make it so difficult for yourself.
Not good enough.
All right, Jules, let's stick with Salah. I do have to talk about the finish, because he's put through. It's on the counter. It's like injury time. They're 3-0 up.
Yeah.
the ball comes through. It's extremely difficult to hit it with the outside. His dominant foot is obviously his left foot. It's extremely difficult to hit that ball and finish with your left foot. The only way to do it is if you somehow hit it with the outside of your boot.
Yeah. Which he's done before. A player of his quality can still
He's done before, but
yeah.
for anyone, it's so much easier. And because he scored plenty of goals with his right.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to go and just get it in with your right. He chooses that. I may be overanalyzing this. Why would you do that? Could it be because you wanted to not just score? Maybe you knew, but score a statement goal, which is what it would have been, because it would have been, you hit it with your left foot, the arc of the ball and everything, you'd have to hit it hard and curve around the keeper.
Maybe. I think he rushes it, and because he rushes it, because he can even take a touch, but he rushes it, and the only way to get to the ball as quick as he clearly wanted or tried was to go with the outside of his left foot, but it was the wrong, because he looks an embarrassing finish, to be fair. For a player like him, it's something that you would see at the park with average players. So, not good. And I think also a goal would have been, considering how average his performance was in the game, he was never really in the game, had nothing at all. I think that would have not just saved this game in a way in performance, but I think that would have done him a lot of good. Because now we talk again, okay, what do you do for the game at the weekend? Do you play the same team? I don't think he fits there really in that system. So we go again. If he had scored, maybe we would have said, well, he scored. First game back, he scores, they won, it worked, that can work, let's go again and let's try to make it work better. Now I'm thinking I would rather Curtis Jones or maybe even Gakpo. Considering Wirtz was, again, outstanding, I thought that Ekitike was good and should have scored. I'm not sure you need Salah, really.
All right.
After last night, I'm not saying that never again you should play for Liverpool. After last night, the way they played, there were other very dominant players that Liverpool clearly relied on more than him.
Okay, I'm inclined to give Salah a pass on this one because the guy's been gone for a month in Morocco. I thought it was interesting, and I think there is something to be read into Slot's decision, because for this game you had Cody Gakpo available.
Yeah.
So if you want to play that box and play a front two, like Cody Gakpo,
you can
play Gakpo there, right?
And he came on for Ekitike,
and he came on
in that position.
The fact that instead, let me go and choose the guy who played 90 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah.
When obviously the Liverpool game I think was on Saturday, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Against Burnley, and who's just flown from another continent. Morocco's not that far, but still, right?
Yeah.
And let me just chuck him in there. He hasn't trained with us in months or in a month almost, right? I thought that was a statement. Now, is it a statement? I think it's a statement of, all right, there's 10 days left in the window. Everybody said he's off to Saudi Arabia. And it's not just we in the media. I mean, as you know, I was skeptical. I will take credit for that one. But a lot of people, I think a lot of people at Liverpool were convinced that he was going to take whatever offer he had from Saudi Arabia. Although, funnily enough, there was never like a name attached to the offer. It was just Saudi Arabia. And he could still go because the window's still open.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if there hasn't been a shift in the meantime. And Slot saying, all right, he's not going to, there is a strong chance he might actually stay. If he stays, I will need him because Isak is out.
Yeah.
And I think with Bradley out, and obviously in the center back situation, and Gay not coming, obviously.
Yeah.
We need to bring somebody in. I hope we bring somebody in, but it's going to be a defender. It's not going to be a striker.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we can bring two guys in. I don't know, but we certainly spend a lot in the summer.
Yeah.
And the way I can make this work is a front two. The front two allows me to play fullbacks who are more attacking, because obviously I lost Bradley as well. So I don't have the option of the defensive fullback, right? This scheme can work.
Yeah, it can. The thing is, what if Salah is not good in it? That's the thing.
Well, if Salah is not good in it, you have other strikers.
Sure. But the problem is then Salah would not accept to be benched again regularly like before the crisis. That's the thing.
If he doesn't accept it, then he can move in the summer.
Yeah.
But I think it's in his interest. He can't just say, I don't accept, right? Because from the club's perspective, We said, okay, in the 4-2-3-1, we had issues with you because you don't defend in the same way that we need you to defend, especially if you have Frimpong behind you. In a 4-4-2, you could defend less and you can focus on finishing, playing final third. We play a lot of teams that sit deep against us, low block. You're still probably the most technically gifted, or maybe the second most technically gifted, if you think Wirtz is more technically gifted. I'm not sure I'd go there yet. So we can still use you. But this is a system for you, and it allows me to play my midfielders and keep control of that midfield and not tire everybody out, right? So this has to be the way forward. If it's Salah or somebody else.
I think they'll try. If it's not Salah, then you've got different options tactically. It was interesting on Tuesday in his press conference. He said, you would be mad not to use somebody who scored 45 goals in the Champions League. So we kind of knew on Tuesday he was going to use him because he was going to start him. Otherwise, he would not have come up with that kind of statement. So he did. Again, I didn't think he was convincing from a Salah individual performance. So we see there's obviously the weekend, and then next week against Karabakh at home, which is the last game of the league phase for Liverpool. It probably will start him. I wonder if you rotate him a little bit so he doesn't start at the weekend in the league, but he starts against Karabakh in the Champions League next week. If you do that and maybe try either another system or another player like Gakpo or somebody else in his role from last night, it'd be really interesting to see. But it was inevitable that once Salah would be back, we would talk about, it would be the Salah debate again. If he had not started last night, we would have said, well, why didn't he start? So
come on, why did he not start? You really have to be mean to go and say that. Why didn't he start?
No, but
he just came back from the Cup of Nations.
Well, but
it's entirely understandable, why he wouldn't have started. I mean,
but it's clearly more understandable that he started because he started him. So it was more obvious for him to start than not start.
I don't know. I thought
I would not have started him,
right?
And I didn't think he was going to start until Tuesday. So I was like, okay.
And I didn't think Slot would start him. And I think you and Slot know about football. So that's why it surprised me that I think he's making a statement there. I do think you can say you can try other systems. Salah or no Salah, right now, with the players Liverpool have, I don't know that there is another system other than this one that allows you to play with these fullbacks. And because I think you need those midfielders. You need to have...
Yeah, it's just like Curtis Jones and put Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. They've done this while Salah was away.
Sorry. What? Tell me the system.
Yeah, just Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, Wirtz probably be a bit free like yesterday, but not as central as yesterday. Probably a bit more onto that left-hand side. Szoboszlai and then Ekitike up front. You don't even need Gakpo, but you could have Gakpo
but
as well.
That's what I'm. All right, but then you're packing the team even more with midfielders. What I'm saying is, you can't go back to 3 midfielders. Or let alone 2 midfielders, depending how you count. Or whatever. You cannot. The 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-4 is out. I think with this group at least until the summer, and then we see what happens. Because I think these midfielders are really performing. Szoboszlai. You don't want to leave Szoboszlai out.
No, but Szoboszlai stays. There's no...
Okay, but the thing is, once we say Gravenberch stays, Szoboszlai stays, you're not going to play Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as your 2. You've got McAllister too. So I would play the midfielders. And so that's why I think it's going to be some variation of the system that we saw in this game. Back to Marseille. All right, they're third in Ligue 1. There's a huge game coming up against Lens and Stonewise. We could really relaunch them. I say relaunch them in their title hunt. It would obviously, if they win, they would narrow the gap with Lens. But there's that team in between them that's pretty good, Paris Saint-Germain. But they're wheeling and dealing. Ethan Manieri on his way, and possibly Timber too. The other Timber, not the one who plays for Arsenal, but his twin brother. Quinton.
Yeah.
Do we like the Ranieri move?
Yeah, I think he's good. I think they, in France, they're a little bit surprised because there's a penalty for Marseille if he doesn't play enough games. So it's a loan with a fee to pay. The fee will grow if he doesn't play the amount that Arsenal want of games.
Andrea Berta, you got this one 100%. From Arsenal's perspective, and I've argued this before, this makes so much sense. You're not just getting him playing time, because it's obvious his pathway is blocked for now. But you've made a commitment to him until 2030. You're sending him to a high-quality team, and you've kind of insulated yourself against him not getting playing time. I'm assuming there's probably proviso in there if he gets injured or whatever,
sure,
right?
Sure. But Hendrik is the same at Lyon with Real Madrid. This is what happens when big club loan players to other big clubs, but not as big as them. Basically.
Yeah, it's not going to be a huge thing because the loan fee is presumably...
It's 2 million euros, I think.
Yeah, relatively small. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to go 2 million to 10 million if he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good signing. Quinton Timber, he's played in midfield as well as at the back.
Yeah, he's very versatile, yeah. He was out of contract in 6 months, 4.5 million euros. I think it's a great signing for Marseille. Slot was very, very full of praises for him. Obviously, they worked together. He fell out with Robin van Persie, so he was always going to leave Feyenoord anyway. And I think it's a very smart move. Both of them, I think, are very smart move from Marseille.
In the past, Marseille had some, let's say, unscrupulous owners. I'm thinking of Bernard Tapie. I'm going to make the stupidest dad joke here, but sorry. Can you imagine? They are twins, right? Can you imagine if somehow they concoct something so that actually they swap things around and he gets Julien?
Imagine,
and
yeah.
screws over Arsenal?
Yes, imagine that.
Can you tell me?
I think you can, from memory. I think they are identical twins, obviously. But
I've never seen them both together up close in the flesh, so I am not in a position to judge. But that would be pretty cool.